Oh my God. It's happening.
It's here.
How did we get like, wow, it's actually, we're watching Daredevil Born Again. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, Andrew will be joining us to complete 4 people, whatever. What's that number?
Quadrilogy? No, what?
We don't need to speak to watch Daredevil.
Us will come.
Aaron, before we go into this, how are you feeling?
I am feeling so excited. I spent the last 2 weeks rewatching Daredevil Season 1, 2, Defenders, Daredevil Season 3, Punisher 1 and 2, and Echo just to prepare for today. So I am thoroughly ready and stooped, I don't even know if that's a word, in Daredevil for today.
Wow, we just can't speak today.
Stooped as I am as well.
How are you feeling, Coy?
Okay, I am known for speaking in hyperbole. I am known for overpraising. I am known for many things of the over-positive relation. But I think, and I will say this with my full chest, this is the thing I have waited for longest and my most anticipated thing that I've ever reacted to on this channel. So
Same.
not only is it the longest wait, but is the highest stakes, the most. And as a side of like, I'm really freaking proud of my friends. Justin and Aaron are just geniuses, and they're about to be. You already get some love for Loki season 2.
Moon Knight, Loki season 2, now this.
But I feel like this is like when you like those are incredible projects.
This
but when you make Daredevil, this is the Avengers of TV.
Yeah.
Like dudes I know, I get to like congratulate personally for making, and I'm just so happy for them because they've earned it, and they're such geniuses, and they're such good guys. Like they're good people. So like this is so personal and professional. And Save Daredevil was something that I was like such a part of online that it feels like a win to a 7-year scale. And I started my hosting career with Winter Soldier and Daredevil. So this is like everything. This is why I'm also, I forgot the word Aaron said, but that word stooped. Stooped.
Yes.
There's our headline.
Gosh, yeah.
Daredevil Born Again in stooped in glory.
When these
How
boys,
are you, hat boy?
When these boys walked in here, I was stretching. I've been having a heck of a week with some personal life stuff. Cat really sick, and then on top of that, there's this YouTube behind the scenes thing, and I was just showing the guys like, here's what I woke up to this morning, and I've been dealing with this, and a lot of YouTubers are. But right when we hit record, I was like, oh my God, we're about to watch Daredevil. And a lot of this stress, I'm looking forward to taking a break from that and getting lost back in this. Because even just rewatching season 3, I was like, man, I forgot. I was like, I've declared for so long that Charlie Cox's Daredevil is my favorite MCU character. And then rewatching that season, I was like, I remember why I say that. Let's get into action with this bad boy and see what's in store. But before that, YouTube's kind of jerking over a lot of people. So here's a brand deal. Reject Nation, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a legendary character making her return. Carmen Sandiego. Now, if you grew up chasing her across the globe in the classic games, cartoons, or the Netflix series, you already know how iconic she is. But for the first time ever, you're not just tracking Carmen, you get to be Carmen. Carmen Sandiego, the game, has just launched on PC and consoles, bringing detective gameplay, high-tech gadgets, and thrilling puzzles into a modern 3D world that blends nostalgia with fresh, strategic gameplay. So whether you're a longtime fan or discovering Carmen for the first time, this game is packed with adventure, mystery, and even a little bit of learning. Just like the originals. I mean, here's just a few reasons of what makes it awesome. You get to step into Carmen's iconic red hat. For the first time, play as the world's greatest thief and outsmart vile operatives across the globe. Solve mysteries using strategy and logic, because this isn't just about fast reflexes. It's about thinking ahead and outwitting your enemies. Use high-tech spy gadgets, from hacking tools to disguises. Carmen has an arsenal of tricks to stay one step ahead. Explore famous locations, track criminals across the world, from Paris to Tokyo and beyond, all brought to life in stunning detail. From everything I've seen, it really captures what makes Carmen Sandiego special. It's got that mix of classic detective work and strategy, but on a much bigger scale now. And it's not just a nostalgic throwback, it's a full-blown modern adventure. So, Reject Nation, don't miss out. You can buy the game through the link in the description box or scan the QR code on screen. You can get in on the Carmen action. And yes, big thanks to Gameloft for sponsoring this video. Tell me in the comments, where in the world would you take Carmen first? Anyway, yeah, guys, go download the Carmen Sandiego game. Leave a like on this video. Subscribe and click that bell. Aaron, oh, your bell's there. You want to go grab it? Nah, it's too far away.
Oh,
just do the action.
Ring that bell.
There you go. Because we got episode 2 to cover. And then as well, Prepper, thank you for editing this down. They've been even hitting me up like, you to get screeners because we really want to watch this. So yeah, it's like the world is united for this right now. Patreon, full-length reaction watch along where you sync up with your own copy of Daredevil, available for our super sexy rejects over at our Patreon page. It's fully illegal to show the entire movie. That's why you got to sync up with your own copy. Other pages that do it, they'll get in trouble one day. I won't snitch, but who knows? Maybe let's stop talking. There's lawyers for that. Avocados at law. Justice! Let's do this. That little thing was blocking me.
Unless all frame.
My heart is racing.
I am elated.
Whoa, what an opening shot.
Very cool.
Wow, what like a film opening shot. The New York colors. Oh, the music.
Are those the notes of the original?
I have nipple chills. It
Yes.
has occurred. It's real. Whoa.
Oh, what a vibe.
I got nipple chills
This
now, too.
feels like a film, dude. This is crazy.
Look at the color.
Cinema,
the red and
the
blue.
red.
Nelson, Murdock, and Paige.
Yes, it's fulfilled.
Finally get to see it not on a napkin. It's real.
After 7 years.
Oh, my God.
I like to think that we have evolved.
He just said, I like to think that we have evolved. You have.
You know, Becky's Diner on 8th? Love that place. Closed. Turning it into a soul cycle. You're evil for even telling me that.
Wow, this is the most I've really captured New York City in the Daredevil.
Greg loves New York City.
Hell's Kitchen nostalgia is running pretty thin with you guys. You realize that,
Not
right?
nostalgia, reverence for the past.
What a meta line.
Next level closing argument BS right there.
Too much?
This is his city.
City finds other ways to protect itself.
Josie.
Josies, we're back.
Wow, it's so handheld.
We could just get out of here.
You and me? Sounds nice.
Oh?
I think that's a distinct violation of the Friends Code.
Oh.
I keep forgetting about the friends code. No one's above the law.
Nope.
I hear you were at a real firm once.
I was.
You're not Marcy.
You're gonna miss this shit.
Am I?
Is that Jim Starling?
The future, we're obsolete.
Ah, spare me the dinosaurs' lament.
Wow, feels like a real vigilante.
Yeah, like watching it through the news is different.
Next round on me. Josie!
Keep your cash. Tonight your crime. You don't pay.
Oh, I'm happy she's back.
I'll keep my strategy to myself. Thank you very much.
$50 says I can worm it out of you before eventually.
Not a chance.
I also just gotta say, Foggy looking good with a beard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, he did it.
Foggy?
Yes.
No.
Oh, it's great.
He does not have the game for Kirsten Duffy.
How dare you? Don't underestimate our Foggy.
I'm not underestimating her.
I like to see them having fun, man. This is nice.
I have learned ninja moves at my time at NM&P.
Oh, boy.
What?
No. He's calling the firm NM&P. Rescue him? Hell no. I just wish we had popcorn.
Can't believe they tried doing the show without them.
Crazy,
Yes, I love that
man.
it's opening on just them.
Yeah.
What do you think about some new glasses?
How long has been?
Oh, I just remember a little dated.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa!
That was awesome.
Whoa! Is that like an IMAX camera or something? What the shit? Whoa! They're using the letterbox to do perspective?
Just stay there. I'm literally around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Benny.
Something's wrong.
Oh, that's
they
cool. How
manually
he
changed
awesome.
lenses.
Use letterboxes to do his like listening skills.
Wow, that's such a clever way to utilize his abilities. Why is this the most...
Bullseye's back.
Is that Bullseye?
It has to
I
be.
think so, yeah. Why is this...
Yes!
Oh, is that Bullseye in his hand? Yes!
Shit, damn.
Wow.
Oh, he's out for revenge, huh?
No one else can kill a fly with a paperclip.
Like in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Red Hook, he said he was getting threats, so I stashed him.
How exactly are you stashing people?
He's at my apartment.
That's not good.
Why didn't you tell me about the threats?
Thought it was Benny being Benny.
That sounds,
shoot.
that sounds really bad. There's like physical sound effects.
I'm sorry. Maybe I didn't want to give you an excuse.
Oh.
Oh,
to
is
put
he
the suit
retired right now?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This looks like
In
such a
front of the
comic book. Yeah, this is the most comic book feel.
That's a Frank Miller shot, if
Yeah.
I've ever seen one.
Holy shit.
Why is this the most stylized thing the MCU's ever done?
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Foggy, he wanted to know where you were. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
What?
It was a trap. I love how he's just back.
Uh-oh.
Is Wilson Bethel going to take out Foggy in like the opening?
Ben Poindexter.
Is it because he got him to leave and out?
Oh, Poindexter.
He
don't
wasn't
do
the
this.
target.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Is he just in the pilot?
Would they do that?
Are they about to Karen Page Foggy Nelson?
I don't know what he's talking about. He said someone's looking.
Oh, my God.
No,
what?
no,
They just Karen Paged him.
No,
What?
no. Oh, my God.
Oh, they're keeping Karen alive, or he's keeping Karen alive on purpose.
Oh, what the hell?
No.
Oh, man. Bullseye is out for some serious revenge. Nice to see you again, Karen.
Hello, Karen.
Oh, wow. Yeah, callback. Oh, my gosh. No.
Damn.
Nice.
Wow. Oh, I love that you can see all the people around.
Ooh.
That is a beautiful shot.
All in one take. Wow. Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Oh, that would be such bullshit, honestly. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh, my God.
Oh, this is so haunting.
Whoa.
This is an amazing shot with a conflicting character choice.
Wow.
Oh, I love how the people are. Oh my God! Oh my God!
it's terrifying.
Oh my God!
No.
Oh my God! Ouch! That's so painful.
There's something going on downstairs.
Oh, my God. You freaking psychopath.
Put him in your world.
Yeah.
Put him in
love
your
that he
world.
turns the lights off. So smart.
Man, an opening one.
This a hallway with stairs.
Yeah.
He is
This
full
is
of knives.
crazy. Oh, my God. There's like
He is
6 knives in him. 7 knives in him.
They're going to be right here. They're going to be here any minute, okay?
Wow. I love that there's a story of keeping Foggy alive, too. He keeps checking in on it. Love keeping his eyes shown, the disturbing aspect of it.
Yeah, it's been a couple so far.
Whoa, this looks like a cinematic cutscene, dude.
Love the use of his billy club in this, too. Like, we don't really get to see him use it.
Yeah, he's so much more acrobatic.
This feels like a Batman cinematic cutscene from the games. He's got to have like a messed up back.
Yeah, he got his spine fused in the end of season 3. Oh, my God.
Oh my God. Is he going to cross the line?
Oh, no, Foggy, no.
Oh, this is not cool, man.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ!
Oh my God. What the
Oh.
What an opening. Is this real? Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow, that was powerful. Oh, my gosh.
Uh,
Oh, my God, no.
Wow.
no, detective. Detective, no.
Matt.
Oh my God, so much is going wrong in this opening scene.
He didn't kill him, did he?
No, I think he did. I think he was waiting to see if Foggy died. And
No!
This guy is something. Aaron and Justin love those like 70s zoom shots so much.
Yeah. Oh, there's this trailer shot of the mask.
This is so sad, but it's also brilliant. Oh my God.
Wow, to use that music again. Whoa!
So good.
Oh my God. HBO's Daredevil. Talk about setting the stage.
Oh my God.
That was the craziest 20 minutes.
Credited. Wilson Bethel's credited too. Okay. Justice. Michael Gandolfini. Cool.
Okay, we're doing this crumbling stone effect now instead of the blood. Okay, I like this update.
But it still feels like the original in a way.
Yeah.
Newton Brothers are back from X-Men 97. That's interesting symbolism.
The church crumbling.
Everything's crumbling. Yeah,
Well, everything in Matt Murdock's world. Justice, liberty. And then reforming.
Reborn.
Ooh. That's cool. I want to buy that statue.
But in stone,
Daredevil
life size.
Reborn.
That was incredible.
That was an amazing opening scene. Oh, and like the city looks like the blood, the Daredevil.
Of the old season, yeah.
Wow.
Into the stone of the city.
Man,
Very
really,
smart.
Really set a tone. Was it going to be like 1 year later or something?
I'm so overwhelmed right now.
What an antithesis to the opening shot that we got with him.
I don't believe in an interventionist God.
Good song. Good song lyrics.
I'm loving this so far. Oh my God. Later. And they did it like the endgame text.
This feels a lot more cinematic so far and less like a television show.
100%.
I can't believe you just killed off Foggy.
It's crazy.
Not
With the braille. There he is.
Does he have one because he's on a diet? Is just how they justify how he's like slimmer now?
It might be one asparagus, small chicken.
Oh, upside down. He's got his wedding ring.
Oh, the Chrysler building.
Oh.
The animated series Spider-Man, where his headquarters was. I always relate that to him.
They might be building to him taking over that.
I hope so.
I'll go with the white.
Gotta go with the
White
white.
suit day.
Oh, not a white
not
suit
today.
day.
A black suit.
Which cufflinks is he going to choose? Oh, what the freak? Jesus Christ.
You gotta pay.
Not heading to Red Hook. Red Hook's exempt.
Since when?
Since before you started wearing that stupid tracksuit.
Tracksuit Mafia.
Stop it, both of you. Don't be little boys squabbling over pennies when you're set to earn millions.
She's back.
Vanessa.
Red Hook is exempt from any taxes, tolls, or other payments. You know that, Luke, huh?
Yes, Miss Fisk.
It's Mrs. Fisk.
And Victor, there's no reason to be rude, not at this table, nor to anyone who sits at it.
Look at her just controlling the room.
Man, I love seeing the continuation of where we left her off in season 3, fully embracing his world. No cufflinks.
Vanessa.
Yes.
We need to talk.
Man, the air just drains out of the room. It's incredible.
I appreciate that they're treating it like a reintroduction and not like, hey, that Hawkeye Echo guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Let's just forget that happened.
Ozempic Fisk.
You left the bed I sat beside for months while you recovered. And for what?
Because of his eye?
I'm assuming so.
You've kept them in line. They respect you.
They respect the money I make them. Protection makes people scared. Profit makes them loyal.
Good to note.
How long are you back for?
As long as you'll have me.
Oh, problems.
Oh, man, there's a distance between them, huh?
I was broken, shattered. And for months, I had to put myself back together.
I wore a Hawaiian shirt.
I made choices.
Two things shone bright and clear inside me. Beacons of who I was and who we could be.
Oh, she wants him back.
The first was my undying love for you.
Forget about Maya.
And the second?
What we could do for this city.
Yeah.
And I would have to step away, and anything I was involved with could never be perceived as illegal.
I made this business bulletproof.
Yes. Good. There can be no gray area.
Wow, he's like answering to her.
I've been informed that I have the 25,000 signatures. It's time.
Mayor Fisk.
Oh my God, look at the way they play with these guys. Love film so much. Look at this shit. The BB report. Said Uric.
Sir, excuse me, do you have a moment?
Hey, Aaron, one of the directors.
Hi, I'm BB Uric. Can I ask you some questions?
BB Uric.
Little baby Uric.
Do you feel safe on the streets?
Daredevil's been gone for a really long time.
And so have the Avengers.
I don't line over here. You can't even go out with your family. You got to worry about getting mugged.
And we need him back.
I love this street level stuff, man. This is awesome.
Holy cow, you beat me in.
And I made coffee.
I just wanted to catch you alone, see how you are before tomorrow.
God, the despair in my heart right now. It's just like a cast of Nepal over me.
Have you heard from her?
I have not, no.
Well, when the time is
I know
right.
what you're trying to do, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Listen to Karen, got some new shades.
Even though she's not there.
Boo!
This son of a bitch.
As you know, I've stood in this court many times.
That heartbeat.
Defended the innocent to the best of my ability.
I love how sinister this all feels.
Yeah.
This feels like Frank Miller.
It won't be served because whatever sentence is passed, Foggy Nelson, only his mother called him Franklin, will still be dead. It won't be served because...
Oh, that Karen? Probably haven't seen Karen in a very long time.
About a year.
It's crazy for Bullseye to be right there, and he like knows that's Daredevil.
Yeah.
Apologies, Your Honor.
This is directed like an elevated horror movie.
Yeah, everything's really punched up.
In the absence of justice, the court can't punish this man. And I urge you to do so to the fullest extent the law allows. Because that punishment, that is the closest any of us will ever get to justice.
This intercutting of zooms is so well edited.
I wonder if she never forgave him for tossing him off the roof.
You are hereby sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for each count to be served consecutively.
Bellows shaking, Matt.
Look, can we go somewhere? Maybe grab a cup of coffee or something?
I don't think so, Matt. I don't really want to do that.
You know, it's funny. I know you're lying. What do I need to do to have a conversation with you? I've tried calling. I've left messages.
No, I know. You're right.
So what do you want?
I just was busy.
Oh, don't give me busy. I can't.
My friend died too, Matt.
Oh.
You didn't talk to me for weeks. I was halfway in and then halfway out.
Take some minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, isolating. Yeah.
But I'm really glad that you're doing so well.
Is he?
I refuse to believe that a tragedy had to destroy everything.
But it did. What are you going to do about Daredevil?
I made a promise to myself that I'd let the system handle it, all of it.
That's what Foggy would have wanted.
Yeah.
Wait 5 minutes.
I found this at Josie's. I thought you might want it.
Wow, yeah, the horn that fell off. What'd you do with the suit, Matt? That was such a smart writing choice they did at the beginning. I'll talk about it more in the review, but I'm really happy they did that. Not that he's dead, but the way that they executed it.
It's given such a oppressive 80s, 90s Daredevil, like Frank Miller all over it.
My name is Wilson Fisk.
Oh no, sister, I thought I was out. Pull me back in.
The city, the streets, it's no longer safe for decent people.
I love the music. It has that like angelic choir / hellish choir.
They've really captured the darkness. You feel the dread.
Tonight I'm declaring my candidacy for mayor of New York.
Oh, clear.
He's like, this mofo.
If your polls are as good as you say, then neither Mr. Fisk nor his candidacy needs refining.
I've been doing this a long time. And I understand that some of your ideas and staff are refreshingly unconventional, but...
You're even in the Bieber report, and you're blowing up, sir. I mean, Fisk Can Fix It is trending hard.
He hates it so much.
What's your name, son?
Daniel Blake.
Why would you vote for me?
Straight up, because you get shit done. You made things happen for yourself.
This reminds me of someone.
Can't put my finger on it.
Where did you find him, Sheila?
He canvassed 2,000 signatures for us, and he was cheap.
Yeah.
Pay him more. How will Wilson manipulate and use this man?
Sorry.
Doesn't directly say much to him at all, and just, yeah. He looks a lot like his dad.
Heather Glenn, can you just meet her? See if we're the right fit?
Yeah, sure.
3:30, Manhattanville, coffee.
The scope compared to the Netflix show, too, this is much more wide framing.
Yeah.
Yes, you get more picture and scope.
I think it's the cinematic element.
I love this. Wow, I love how they're showing it. It's so cool.
The camera works as with senses. This reminds me of someone.
It's also so interesting seeing the contrast for him running for mayor for how he started in the Daredevil show, not wanting to be known at all.
He's just everywhere he goes. This mother effer is just everywhere.
Just trying to keep it contained.
So annoying.
Yeah.
Like, keep it together.
I don't usually meet in coffee shops like this, but anything for Kirsten. We go way back.
So look, why not jump right in and ask, what are you looking for in legal representation?
Great one shot of a drama scene.
What are you hoping Murdock and McDuffie can do for you?
They start pulled back and then slowly zoom in.
And the silhouette that it held.
I was just about to ask you what you're looking to get out of therapy.
Matt in therapy?
Usually don't do this at a coffee shop.
It is kind of funny.
What a waste of time.
Hey, she did it to both of us.
That's what I mean. I'm saying. It's annoying, yeah. I didn't mean to be rude. I'm just not sure what she was thinking.
Why don't you try talking?
Yeah, she knows I don't date lawyers.
Oh, really?
Your hours suck, and you argue everything.
It's kind of a sweeping generalization.
See what I mean?
I like the flurries of natural comedy as well.
Charlie Cox is so perfect, man.
Oh, man.
He's so perfect.
He is, coupled with the dialogue actually being very good and very natural.
Yeah, the writing's been punchy, but like flowing. Yeah.
So you're from Queens, huh?
How did you know?
Accent's still there.
Like hell it is.
It's there. You've worked to shorten the A's and the O's, but you can still hear the effort.
I hear it with my super hearing.
Daredevil flirting.
It's a blind thing.
That's... Wow.
You're ovulating.
Let me tell you about your heartbeat, baby.
It'd be so easy to know when someone has a crush on you at the heartbeat thing.
You've been to Queens lately?
Yeah, only for Sal, Chris, and Charlie's.
The lawyer from the kitchen's got good taste in sandwiches.
That hair is so his type in the comics.
Very, like, you kind of knew that it would end up, like, they're going to end up clicking, but the way they landed there felt very well done.
I mean, he is the horniest hero. And visually.
Forget that.
Yeah, like,
he's a dog. He's a dog.
Get after it.
Yeah.
He's the only one with horns on his suit, and he uses them.
That is inappropriate. It's unethical, and it's kind of creepy.
Is McDuffie someone in the comments?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Read a vibe with people.
No, you
when are you
can't.
seeing her again?
I'm not having this conversation with you.
Hey, Matt.
The detective.
Cherry is here in the conference room. Are you going to
Right
tell
now?
me? Yeah. You want to tell me why you invited your hatchet man?
He's not my hatchet. He's my investigator.
Turn him into a PI.
What happened to Mahoney?
Stay out of my private life.
That's never going to happen.
All right, you can text me a number. Just so I can apologize for your inappropriate behavior. Yeah.
He's great. So good.
Half the cops hate Fisk's guts, the other half dive off the Chrysler building for him.
And work for him.
Chrysler building.
If I didn't know him better, I'd say he sounds sincere. Well, if this city actually elects him, then maybe New York's getting the mayor it deserves.
Oh, it also sounds familiar.
That's pretty goddamn cynical, Matt.
Or maybe I'm just wising up.
You know, he supposedly crushed a guy's head.
With a car door.
What's this old ass camera they're filming this documentary with?
Love it.
I myself have endured vigilante violence, and I can assure you there's nothing nuanced about getting shot.
He's listening to someone else's TV.
You propose registering the vigilantes.
Registration next happening. It's going to happen. Called it.
They're doing this
called
for a
it
line
like a long time ago.
of honoring what came before.
while still letting it breathe.
Yeah, but acknowledging what happened to Echo without really like leaning into it.
Yeah,
is very smart.
It's been some time, hasn't it?
Wow. Yes.
Ah!
I was wondering if we could have a little chat.
I'd be delighted.
Thank you.
Goddamn. They rarely have scenes together.
Lost some weight, gained muscle.
I'm not gonna spar with you, Murdock.
No, I wasn't asking you to.
This is the scene from Heat.
Scene from American Gangster.
You have children?
No. You?
Oh, no. I tried to mentor someone, but, well, that's the closest I've come.
Didn't she shoot you in the face?
Vague reference.
You shoot the face.
Hey, laughed.
Younger generation, what can we do?
Whoa. It's like they're buddies.
You've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you. You're a real man of the people now.
A rich man, by his very nature, is self-serving. A mayor serves his city.
Huh.
I love when they choose to do the close-ups on the shadows.
About your friend, I had nothing to do with his death. I kept that promise.
Honoring the finale of season 3.
I'm gonna make New York a better future.
Make it great again.
It's hard to come to terms with the violent nature, hating the power it has over us.
Tick.
I was raised to believe in grace. So if you say to me that you're a new man, I say fine.
He's really trying, man.
But you should know I was also raised to believe in retribution.
Yeah.
So if you step out of line, I will be there.
He's Al Pacino.
I'm going to be mayor of this town. And when I am, I will not tolerate people running around in silly costumes. Should you go back to any of your old activities, there will be consequences.
It appears we really do understand each other.
I love a man who rises above his nature.
Good day, sir.
That was great. That was good stuff.
They got their oner out of the way, and they got their scene with them
Standoff.
together. Carries
You
over.
suck as a coffee date, but you're a pretty great dinner date.
The colors here are more reminiscent of the original, but the way it's shot looks more like film.
You tell Kirsten we were going out tonight?
I wouldn't give her the satisfaction. I'm icing her as punishment.
That seems very well adjusted.
Mental health is knowing exactly when and how to act out.
Wilson Fisk has been elected the 112th mayor of New York City.
He won.
I love the choice of using the camera as to senses. That's
Me
so
too.
smart.
I can't believe this isn't I can't believe he got elected in the first episode. I thought it'd be the first arc.
The way it's set up, it seemed like there was going to be the whole season thing, but wow, very interesting. Oh, nice. With her just in the background there. Beautiful.
Power.
I'm actually attracted to you again. Fisk can fix it. Fix it.
Oh, he's on a rooftop, Daredevil. It's the opening shot. It was his POV.
It's a cool mirror.
I know about Adam, Vanessa.
She had another lover.
Do not kill him.
Not that man anymore.
Promise me.
Promise.
Promises will be broken.
You can't carry the weight of a city on your shoulders. New York will get by without you. She doesn't give a f***, remember?
Oh, this escalation's not good.
Go have some fun, man. It's a night to celebrate.
This is not good.
What?
I can't stand it when Kirsten's writing.
Wow. And I like that we've given him a new love interest in the first episode.
I want you to know tonight
I like that he's not paying attention to her. He's listening to Fisk. That's not good, Matt.
and every night,
He gave a polite smile.
I love New York.
Oh, that's how they promoted it, was with the paintings back at D23. I didn't know it was going to be like, oh, that's great. I didn't realize that was Muse art. That's genius. This guy's going to be terrifying. He's coming.
Kingpin.
Love the silhouette. Love the symmetry of it. Oh.
The red is calling.
He's got the cold blue of stone.
Nice. The half silhouette of red. Great. Oh, man.
All right, guys. Well, we just watched the first episode of Daredevil Born Again. He's back. We know there's another episode out. We're not going to watch it.
Nope.
We're going to skip to 3.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week.
We're just going to fill in the blanks.
Yeah. And we're going to blame the show for leaving a lot out.
I'm gonna go pull behind the curtain. We were debating whether or not to do 1 and 2 together, but I feel like we couldn't have that as a meal if we rushed into 2. So maybe I was wrong. You can blame me if you wanted this to be paired. Blame me entirely. But I defend. I think there's so much to discuss here that wouldn't be fair to the episode to jump into a pairing. I want to discuss 2 and then review it, and I want to discuss 1 and review it. And Greg was kind enough to consider, and maybe I'm wrong, and we'll pair 5 and 6 together by the time we get there. But for now, I want to discuss 1.
They'll discuss it.
Okay.
Man.
To me, this was the definition of having a character have a new team on a comic book that followed another run and kept the continuity, but was able to actually choose what it wanted to keep from it as far as what it front-loaded. There wasn't ignoring of canon. There wasn't making sure it was manipulating the audience. This fully acknowledged both the Netflix journey and the Disney journey to this point, while also being uniquely its own thing. This feels like when a great new penciler jumps on a book and either keeps the writer or gets a new writer, but they honor the last run. And it feels like a graphic novel where you can pick up like volume 4 and you can read this volume 4, and this was the first section of that volume 4. And hey, I love it. Now I want to go back and check out volumes 1, 2, and 3. It acknowledges all of that beautifully, but it has its own incredible visual language, its own incredible writing style. It uses the powers in a different way visually while not trying to change what the powers represent. It acknowledges so much in its writing and its visuals, but also the color palette is almost completely different while still being acknowledging of the original color palette. Like the old style, I loved when Defenders was like, this character represents this color, and they would just like aggressively light stuff because it would feel like paneling. And this is doing that to a point, but it's also giving a broader scope of the frame while also looking more like a splash page. It's not doing as many of like the Tom King style punch-ins that the Netflix show feels like, where it's like a narrow focus, and it's like you're scanning down a frame. This feels more like a cinematic splash page that goes into a dialogue scene that goes back out to a splash page. They're doing so much to narrow focus and then broaden it, and that also ties into his power set and how they're using it. They're doing a lot of really genius stuff by just visually telling you he's already indecisive about whether or not he's making the right decision not being Daredevil. They're letting you see him talking to this new woman while listening to Fisk. They're letting you feel that tear and then lighting him, obviously the very, very on the nose, but in a beautiful way, like flashes of Daredevil's coming back. And I love the red juxtaposing the cold blue of Fisk, and that again mirrors the Netflix, but also gives you this new flourish. And we talked a lot about the camera never stopping moving. That to me feels like a different penciler. We talked a lot about like the writing being very natural in its comedy, but also like so heavy. I personally think killing Foggy would have really, really, really upset me if it didn't stay ominous. Like if that had happened and it felt like they fridged him, if they just did it for the sake of like, what's Matt gonna do about it? But instead, it sets this entirely different tone. It is establishing that we're in a different world, but also like honoring the world that came before it. And it gives Matt the same stakes he had, intentionally in Born Again. In Born Again, Karen gets killed, and he has to deal with that. They killed Foggy here to surprise us comic people and also establish that nothing is off limits. I love this. I've talked long enough. I'm going to talk more after. But Greg, I once saw you lose your mind over losing a beanie, and now I'd like to know, do you feel redemption?
I do. It doesn't feel real to me. Like, it really doesn't feel real. I thought it would feel real, but it doesn't feel real to me. Because I find myself like hyper aware of what we're watching in a very unusual way. Because you're like, there's a lot of like carrying over, sequelitis, comparing not just visually, but stylistically. I see why people called it a pilot, and I'm like,
it does.
Because, yeah, I see why they call it a pilot, because at the same time, I'm like, I feel like you'd be very much like out of the conversation, a little lost if you didn't watch the previous show. like, I don't know what's happening. Why should I care about this guy getting killed? I think there'd be a lot like coming in where you just wouldn't be as invested in what's happening. But it definitely does feel like a resurrection show, another word for Born Again in some way, right? And that foggy death thing just really did a number to me. Like it's left me like kind of hollow in the right way, because we were just saying like I can't believe you do the show without them.
Seconds before. Seconds before.
Literally kill him off, man. And it makes the affect of so much happen because with the Netflix show and the Netflix world in general, it is shot more like a TV show while still having absolutely cinematic flourishes, but everything's a lot closer, a little bit more intimate, and less visualistic in terms of like music and atmosphere of that shit to enhance stuff of just stares and long pauses and looks and mood of that. Like it does that, but in a very different way. Where this felt like you're watching some type of like elevated horror art movie,
Yeah.
you know, which it feels so much more graphic novel. It feels so much more comic book in its aesthetic appeal. And at times it felt like a really great fan film sequel, where they would have, I don't mean that like in an insulting way, where you do have, we've seen that done before where like, actors might come back for to do some like special
Dirty Laundry, Punisher,
yeah,
Thomas Jane.
something like that. We almost
Punisher.
just held your hand.
Yeah,
some type of like sequel thing where the actors are back and it looks different. They're going for like a grittier thing for a thing that was already gritty, but now it's even more gritty.
Yeah,
and I think with Justin and Aaron's approach, when I remember we were talking Loki season 2, their 70s filmmaking influences were so. It's weird. Like, I didn't pick up on that the Moon Knight directors made Loki. I totally feel the Loki directors
made Daredevil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, because Moon Knight was half them and half Mohammed Diab, I think his last name was.
Yes.
And I think the thing was they were making sure episodes didn't feel too different. So I think they both kind of like subdued their thing.
Yeah.
Whereas Loki was like them for, I think, 60 to 70% of the show.
Well,
and this feels like them.
Well, they made New York feel very alive, and so much of the heyday of like when you talk about like 70s movies with their type of directing style, they are New York City based. So to do this, even to have a scene that feels straight up like Heat, we're just like, you have the villain, and they're basically saying, I'm gonna take you down, I'm gonna hunt you down. It's very much a Heat scene and Heat is two of the legendary New York actors going
squaring
toe-to-toe
off at a diner.
At a diner having coffee with each other where it seems pleasant, but really it's like there's a bit of a mutual respect but an antagonism to it. And I know the Foggy thing will for sure, because Disney really I had a feeling they would kill off Karen or Foggy. I didn't think it would be the opening scene. And they also like put Elden on like so much of the press rounds.
They did such, and Wilson Bethel I thought would form into Bullseye.
Yeah.
The fact that Kingpin's already mayor, Wilson Bethel's already fully Bullseye, and we've already met Muse very briefly is insane in one episode.
Well, yeah, they're building out the world, and it's weird. It feels more like a comic book, but it also feels like more sinister and real simultaneously. Like
the comic's so sinister, they captured it differently.
It's this is like an unsettling world that feels art house. And I gotta say, like, it doesn't feel like they just brought back the Netflix show. In fact, it feels like they did something different, and it still feels bold.
That's what I mean by penciler and writer taking over, right? It still feels like it's honoring where Daredevil is in canon, but it's a new team.
Yeah. This is like kind of like doing a number to me. Aaron, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. No, I thought this was fascinating. It's so crazy because I literally just came off of watching Daredevil 1, 2, 3 and Defenders and all of that, right? And I was so excited, yet nervous going into this because I had such a love and a reverence for that original show because I hadn't watched it since I originally watched it when it aired back in like 2015 through 18. So coming back into this new one, I didn't know what to expect, but I think we had different reactions to the fact that Foggy died in the sense that because it was so fresh, I remember so much of that show was about Matt's relationship with his Catholicism and his relationship with himself in relation to violence, in relation to that line of towing if he would murder. And the way that show ends is him on the cusp of murdering Fisk, wanting to murder Fisk, but choosing not to because he rediscovered his faith. And this beginning is so powerful because his thing is the fact that he has these abandonment wounds, right? And so many people have left him. His dad left him. His mom wasn't in his life, and he pushes people away. So the fact that he uses Daredevil to kind of make up for that, to fight crime in the face of his best friend dying in front of him, those lines are blurred in real time for the first time. So he's not able to control himself. He kills him because someone he loved is immediately in danger, and he can't stop it because he's stopping the threat in real time. So he crosses that line in an interesting way. So I thought they were able to do that, both with the action and visually him feeling helpless while also being a hero. And I never thought that them making a decision like that could work so well. Also, the fact that they were able to find a line between what was established in the Netflix show and what they created for Disney Plus, which, granted, when they started doing that, they didn't have plans to rewrite it and rework it because they shot 6 episodes of that original series. And what they were able to do, in spite of the fact that they shot a completely different show, is extremely impressive. It feels like something that's, I don't know, parts of it reminded me of like Good Time, parts of it reminded me of like, I don't know, like Michael Mann and Collateral, and just these other New York-based sort of movies. And the way that they were able to capture the street level of New York in a way we haven't seen before, it's so interesting and crazy that a show like this and a show like Hawkeye, both about street level New York stuff, exist in the same universe. These are totally different approaches in how they handle what it's like to be on the ground of the MCU. And so far, it doesn't feel like an MCU thing, because I was watching it and fully having the awareness of all of this history, but I'm like, we could have done this the whole time and actually treated this with character and have a slow pace, but we just chose not to because we wanted to prioritize, I don't know, just like these 6-episode models. Granted, that was before they figured out, that they needed showrunners. But anyway, I think that this was able to do it in such an effective way and increase the pace in a way that didn't feel unorganic or not authentic. I think it was able to do that in a way where it honors the emotionality of the original show while punching it up with strong visual language and its colors and its scent. And I'm blown away. I'm impressed. It's one of those things where like you're watching it and kind of to what Coy was saying, it feels like a different creative team and a different art style, right? But you don't need the you maybe need some like reference for what happened in Daredevil, sure, but I don't think it heavily relies on it because it doesn't try to pull too much of the specifics of the history of that show, just the basic outline of what happens. And yeah, I'm super impressed. I'm satisfied, and I'm excited to see where they go next. Also, another thing, Fisk and Vanessa's relationship is extremely interesting in how they've established it so far, because season 1 was all about him learning that he could be someone worthy of love and then acquiring Vanessa. He's not really in season 2, but he's motivated by Vanessa. Season 3, he's motivated by getting Vanessa back, and now he has her. So for the first time, we're seeing a Fisk actively with Vanessa, and they've been together for years now. So what does that do for his character now that he's already got the thing he's been pining after for 3 seasons?
Now it's the city. And I love that the mayoral approach feels so natural to the progression of the story, because in the comics he becomes Mayor Fisk, and it definitely felt natural to the character while also being like, oh, they need a summer event. And like, because comics always have like big events that brings the whole world together, and like the registration stuff that I've been saying for years is coming. It definitely felt like it was leading to that, but the actual characterization of Vincent D'Onofrio's Wilson Fisk, I love that him running for mayor feels natural. Because it doesn't feel like, oh, this happened in the comic, how do we make that the Vincent character? It feels like that's a place that Vincent's Kingpin could go, and all the scenes of him talking about why he wants to do it, all of that feels really natural. And I don't know, you mentioned it feeling surreal to be watching it. I've only ever had this other thing once, and it was during No Way Home. And spoilers for No Way Home. When we first have Toby come out of the portal, and then not long after Andrew comes out of the portal, and then not long after Toby comes out of the portal, we didn't know for sure. We all heard and we all saw the photo, thanks to Toby's dick, John Campea. But we all had that experience.
122.47.
Is the D word not allowed either? It's a TVMA show. Toby's
that we have to, work around.
The hot dog of Toby that is seen in the Campea image. We'd all seen that. And so there was that surreal moment of like, oh, it's real. It's happening. Yeah. And like I remember that was the closest I got, like watching No Way Home at the premiere. I've been doing press for it for 6 months. I've been waiting for it my whole life. Like the Andrew Garfield coming back had been like a decade. And I remember just being like, oh, this is actually happening. And like looking around the theater. And this felt like that for an hour. Like this was truly like we saved it at Daredevil. We did it. And like it's not bad.
No.
It's amazing. It didn't come back just to be Daredevil. It came back because it had something to say. Yeah. And it came back in a way that, like, even the detail of in Daredevil and the Defender shows, the light was harsh and it was used to color what was in the frame to feel like a comic. I love that here, Justin and Aaron have evolved that to have the actual atmosphere of New York get colored more than the actual foreground. It's like they use that mist of New York and they use the energy and atmosphere of New York to make the color dissipate in a way that feels sinister, in a way that feels horror, but also colors the frame in a different way, thus giving you an actual different artist. Like, they're doing some really fascinating stuff.
Guys, I gotta be honest with you. I've had a hard time moving past the Foggy Day.
Oh, we can tell. I can tell.
It's really. I don't want to say anything about. How do I say this? Because I know I don't want to drop even the slightest clue. Aaron could probably pick up on when like a character dies and it pisses off. You probably have some idea of what I might be hinting at when I say that, right? Yeah. Totally. Okay. I don't want to ruin jack shit. And I'm going to leave it at that. With that, I remember being pissed. And then that turned into one of my favorite things of all time. Okay. Just trying to really be vague with my words right now. So I can totally move past and get on board. I just didn't have time to process what happened. What I'm like, oh my God. Like, they just murdered this guy. And it's like the last season with them ends with that. And Elden, it has been part of the press rounds. And while I haven't been absorbing all that shit, because I've been intentional about not wanting to hear too much.
125, the S word was uttered.
Yes, no, that's PG-13 enough.
Oh, we can say that.
Yeah, you can. It's not my rules.
Such a weird thing.
It's not my rule. It's not my.
The name Richard should be allowed.
If you use it in the name Richard, yes.
Toby's Richard.
If I say the Suicide Squad versus talking about the act of
unaliving squad.
Yeah, suddenly it's like a very different thing.
Anyone that complains in the comments, this is what we deal with.
This is like, I've seen it happen. We're like, why are we demonetized? And then I'm like, because of that? 1 second, it's happened. And
Will Smith movie King Richard can't review
People think we're being like prudes, but I'm like, that's not exactly the truth at all.
Oh my God.
Sorry, the death I interrupted.
But yeah, the death of him was because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I came here to see like Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, which I'm getting. but Foggy's such an integral part of the journey, and it ends with that. I'm like, oh, we've just done away with that. But I understand though that when you're doing this setup, like you have to have that start, and I'm sure by the end of this journey of season 1, it's going to lead there. And I like what it does as a character setup for Matt Murdock. Of if you're going to give a reason for this guy to really abandon the suit, give up this identity in a way where obviously there's still a calling to it, but he rejects it. Typical Matt. Here, you got to have it well justified and believable. And even if he's under this, so I like what it does as a setup, and I like how it does cast a pall over everything, and how it creates this distance with him and Karen. Like, there's a lot that I think it does help serve. It's just to do it at the offset, to throw you for a loop. When I'm like, man, I'm watching this opening scene where this like brilliant oner with like a unique oner, where it does straight up look, I kept saying it because it looks like a video game cutscene in the coolest way, because we know how freaking badass those are. And then I keep flashing to Foggy. The way how Matt keeps checking in, I'm still like, Foggy's like dying out there. Like he just got shot. Like this is crazy. So yeah, it did feel like a devastating horror effect. I just haven't had time to process what just happened. And I know there's gonna be some people who are pissed and some people who don't care. And there's gonna be a lot of people like Aaron. And I'm more like, I know I'm gonna come around to it. Just right now, I'm dealing with the hollowness it has left me with, and so that's why it kept me sort of at a observant distance sometimes when I was watching the show, because I was just so caught up in that choice.
This is why Greg wanted to do episode 2 right away. He's hurting. He wants to move on. He wants to,
Yeah.
he wants to see how it evolves. He wants to. What's episode 2? I want to heal. Can I heal?
But no, I mean, I like the. I don't get me wrong. I still loved being here. I loved it. I did love it. I know. I logically know that.
Just hurt right now.
It's like there's pain underneath the hollowness, and then I'm hollow because it's painful. But what you guys talked about Wilson Fisk and Vanessa. They're taking some bold choices here, and that choice is something I totally get on board with, because like when you think of Wilson and Vanessa, you think utmost loyalty and passion, and will do anything for each other. They'll bleed for each other, and then find out that in between, like they've been distant, and she's had another man, and right, that's what they're implying, right?
And I also love the visual language of him choosing the gray suit and her wearing the trademark white. Like she's in power in that scene. He's wearing a suit that's like a normal. Like they visually moved him over.
And I like how he's feeling. I like how he's feeling like, as much as he's rising in the strength of Mayor, he's feeling a bit humbled and weakened. Mm-hmm. And I think you're going to see him rise back into his full power. Like, I like how we didn't see him do jack shit in terms of something illegal in the first episode.
He stood and sat.
No,
yeah.
I think just they're relying on that history that we know of Wilson Fisk, and then Matt knows of Wilson Fisk. We're like, do we trust him? Is he really about this? I don't know.
Even the weight loss to add it, I'm sure that was like Vincent D'Onofrio just lost some weight. But to add it to the character as like
feeling different,
this guy is like looking like he's doing something good. He wants to better himself. He's bettering his health. He wants to be a better guy. You know, he's telling people to drink bleach.
How you get rid of it? That's what you got to do.
I wonder if this will be part of it. And I doubt they'll do this, but I think it'd be interesting if like the less control he loses, that'll be like the character will gain weight as he like goes descent into darkness because he'll like become Kingpin again.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. But another thing I wanted to say that I didn't say before is the fact that they're bringing back, I guess, a smaller version of the Superhero Registration Act, which was kind of a footnote, like a little floof in the MCU. But now we're actually gonna give it the time it deserves.
I've been yelling that since before Ms. Marvel. I've been saying since I think 2 years ago that that's how you bring X-Men in. Because without a world that hates and fears them,
Ms. Marvel
was when I started being like, it's got to happen.
And I think you did say it would be Wilson Fisk.
And it would be during Daredevil.
Yeah.
And like I've been saying, the way you bring in X-Men is you establish a world that hates and fears them, and you need people in positions of power, and I think it's Mayor Fisk. And like that's like I was shocked to hear that word in the opening episode.
Yeah.
Because again, all of them, Disney, I don't give you a lot of credit for your marketing. You've done it. Like this is an entire episode that I thought was the whole season. Everything we've seen, 80% of what we've seen in the marketing is this episode.
Yeah.
I don't know where this show goes.
Yeah, we also gave him a love interest in the first episode, which normally takes like at least half a season.
Yeah.
And they did it super organically.
And they gave her the hair of Elektra in the comic books. Like the whole time I was like, that looks like a Marco Cicchetto drawing.
Yeah.
Like they've done some really interesting stuff. And I also love that the way the show feels paced is a 9... like it feels like it's going to be an epic. It feels like an arc.
I like to... I'm been on a big New York kick here. I mean, rewatching.
That's my favorite thing. Is I want a supercut Roxy of Greg praising New York.
What I love is like rewatching season 3. I'm like, New York feels like New York City, and then watching this, I'm like,
oh, that's really
this
New York.
Feels like New York, in a different, like the wide shots that they do here, where there's just so much happening in the background at all times in every shot. That right down and when they're having coffee. You would think they just plopped Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, the actors, and like, let's just shoot the scene. And they just let New York, but maybe that was the case, that like New York's just happening in the background. I'm like, that can't be the case.
No,
otherwise
like, those are major actors, Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie
right now. Yeah, like, so, but it feels like that's what I mean by it simultaneously feels way more artsy and more real at the same time because of choices like that, like him and him and Therapist are out on a date. They're a bad call for Matt to date a therapist. So,
come on, Matt, you got problems.
But him and Therapist out on a date, and the whole time you could just see all this life. Like, this looks like New York. Like, there's just so much peopling.
In the same way that I was talking about artists and writers, it feels like a different borough.
Yes, it does.
Like, it feels like you have the Netflix borough, and now we have this Disney Daredevil borough, and they both feel like New York.
Even Josie's, like, this actually feels more like the New York I just visited. With how populated it is at all times.
Rejects East is coming, you guys. Every time Greg says New York, we're one step closer to Rejects East.
I feel like I will live my life with. I feel like if I'm on my deathbed here in LA, I'm gonna be like, I should
have moved to New York. I think about it every single winter. I'm like, I miss New York.
And oh god, what was my I literally had just like one last thing I wanted to get out. Someone talk why.
So another thing that I really liked about this episode was the fact that I saw an interview, like a small interview with the cast, and
was Elden there?
He was. He was
talking about the finale.
Fucking promoting this shit the whole time.
It worked.
Fool does.
And like, yeah, here's what I did with Foggy for this.
Got nothing.
Yeah, but Deborah Ann Woll in that interview was talking about her being so far away from the character for so many years and not knowing if she would know how to play Karen again. And her fears were doing like a Karen impression because she's trying to recapture what she did in the first show. And before I say my next thing, first of all, I want to say Vincent D'Onofrio, I love you. But watching the original show, coming fresh off of that and then into Echo, it was weird watching Vincent D'Onofrio play a guy that looked like Fisk, sounded like Fisk, but not feel like Fisk, because it felt like in that show he was trying to remember what Fisk felt like, and he sounded like Fisk, but he felt like just a mobster who just loved this daughter, rather than that awkward rage permeating from in him every time he talks. And it seems like maybe it's the strength of the writing, maybe it's the comfortability of the directing team or the creative team in this one, but he feels authentically Fisk. Every character feels authentically like themselves, but again, with a different writing team. It feels like they're the naturalistic way in which they're talking, but there's also this natural way of comedy that permeates through each conversation, like the talk in the diner or the talk between Matt and the therapist in the restaurant. I'm like, okay, the writing of this doesn't feel like the other show, but it still feels authentic to the people that we're watching. And I really appreciated that being present, because that was one of my worries going into the show.
Did you remember your thing? I have one last thought.
No, please go.
I wanted to see if you need more time to vamp in your mind.
Well, the problem is I'm listening.
Oh, who do you think you are?
I'm not thinking about
that
what
ties into my actual thing.
Yeah.
My last thing is I've been doing this a long time here at Real Rejects, and this, in all of my reactions, this is the first time where I'm so used to, I watch stuff. And like when I'm at home, I'm not talking, I'm watching. And it took me a little bit to adjust to enjoying, but also still having commentary, and then also making sure it was like commentary worth saying. Like, this is a very interesting job because you have to kind of separate your brain into two halves, like enjoy and make sure you're watching and retain it, but also like have commentary that's worth sharing. And also you don't want it to be too long between thoughts. And this is the first time.
You also have to have the heart. At the same time, the emotion. Yeah.
That is them connecting, right?
Yeah.
Like, you want it to be coming from a place. And warmth, which I lack. But the thing that I thought was really interesting is this show, for the first time, I wanted to say something, not because of like, I had a thought and it had been a little once we talked, and it was the first time Greg's ever been like, don't talk.
I don't think I've ever done that.
It was so funny because I was like, my brain was like, you're doing a job. You must speak at all times. And you were like, don't talk. They're about to have a moment. And I was like, but I have to.
Because as the audio started dipping out,
We both knew.
I was like, I think this is Matt. I think Matt's about to confront him because the audio. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to miss it.
It was so funny. I was like, we're reacting,
It's funny is like half the people here have done that to me. Like Roxy has straight up been like, shh. Like, she's straight up done that.
It was so funny. I've never had that happen.
I don't think I've ever actually done that to anyone before, but I was like, we're going to miss the moment.
Craig, we have to talk or they'll take it down.
Yeah. Well, I think I mean that's a different thought. I think what Justin and Aaron have done with utilizing, because their direction is very calculated. Every shot is always kind of moving in or out or handheld. Like, there's rarely a still shot. And the way they have decided to use, like, there's something kind of disorienting about the show in a complimentary way with the way the camera work is done. That seems really reflective of Matt Murdock's state of mind.
Yeah, I agree.
And then you have Greg definitely not distracted by all the noise happening.
You hear it? The ruffling is like audibly being picked up.
And then you have the way they use his senses to pan around or use the letterbox to go in and out to zero in. Like, whoa, what a unique visual that we've never seen done for Daredevil before, where he just can't turn these senses off. And I was like, oh shit, this, like with Loki, their direction style felt like someone's watching them all the time. Like they're meant to be like there's a presence watching them. Is this all part of He Who Remains' plan? To come to find out, it was. Spoilers. And then this one, it's like, oh, we're locked into like Matt's state of mind,
and he's overwhelmed, and there's stuff always moving. And
and I was like, I'm like that again. That complements the simultaneous duality of realism mixed with hyper artistic visual flourishes as well. So the more we talk about it, the more I love it. This is really impressive because I like that they went bold. I like that they went I mean, it's not like so violent yet to the point where you're like you've topped it, but you're like, oh no, but this show's not going to hold back. Like this is going to go violent. This is going to go really. I mean, even in the bar scene with the Bullseye, just like freaking, I'm going to take this cue ball and just kill this person. I'm going to throw a cue. Like wow, he's just murdering. Not like I like how you have to kind of rewatch that scene because there's so much happening.
11 deaths we heard.
Now what I'm waiting for, I mean, they did their oneer in the first episode, but there might be another.
There'll be a hallway.
Yeah,
that was an old boy up
because that was definitely like a very CG. That was more of a CGI enhanced oneer that I thought looked really cool.
I think we'll get our gritty.
But I do want the gritty oneer that they provide for us.
Before they confirmed the Russos for Secret Wars, there was a window where it was Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars was announced. And it was, I think, Daniel Desmond doing Kang Dynasty, and everyone was saying, who do they want for Secret Wars? For me, it was Justin and Aaron. I'm so glad it's this instead. And that is the highest praise I can give.
I think letting them own the TV world is
the best.
Pretty smart because they have shown diversity with it.
I want them to run things like Russo's
and
did.
Plus, we could get multiversal Foggy in Secret Wars.
Yeah, so Greg's happy because Foggy's affecting him.
That's why they'll bring Charlie Cox in there.
Also, none of us mentioned the fact that Matt left Hell's Kitchen. He's like just doesn't go there anymore.
Yeah, it's
That's
rare he's
wild.
I mean, it makes sense with his character now. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so funny because obviously I just came off of it. So he quit being Daredevil. In Defenders he quit being Daredevil, and then in what was it, season 3 he quit being Matt Murdock. So him quitting being Daredevil again, I was like, is this going to feel repetitive? But no, it felt very organic to the character, and I'm not mad that they made that choice because it serves the story and where we are now.
I can't wait to rewatch Daredevil now with this at the end of it.
Oh yeah,
because I haven't rewatched it since.
Yeah, and for me, this feels like they killed Foggy in season 5 of the show rather than they killed him in the pilot.
Yeah, this is so good.
Yeah. I'm
all right, guys. Well, I don't really give a shit about Foggy. I was just saying that.
Yeah.
Placate.
Clip it out.
Foggy.
I don't know what avocados at law means.
Nah, it doesn't care. He's heartless.
Those things go bad fast. Don't take them. Fats are...
You only get this much time with Foggy like an avocado.
Yeah, it's true.
Before it goes bad,
you have a little bit of time for it oxidates
a little window
and dies.
Before it browns and goes away. That's how much you got to appreciate your Foggies.
Yeah. And
It's
we're
the
gonna let's
foggiest
watch
season.
episode 2.